people who say, well, Tulsi, this is just your view or your interpretation. No, it's all in hundreds of pages of documents that I've declassified and released that show point by point exactly what happened through this timeline that showed this very dangerous thing that occurred in the creation of Russiagate, the creation of this manufactured intelligence assessment that essentially had the intent of undermining the voices and votes of the American people who elected Donald Trump. They were not happy with the outcome of that election. And so they created this politicized, weaponized piece of fake intelligence that, as you mentioned, then went on to serve as a foundation for everything that came after, the multiple investigations, the years-long Mueller investigation, 2 congressional impeachments, investigations in the raid at Mar-a-Lago. The list goes on and on. Some of those folks and those 37 individuals that we revoked, directed the revocation of security clearances from today under the direction of President Trump, they aided and abetted in this action, this seditious conspiracy that undermined our democracy, undermined our republic, and broke that sacred trust that every one of these professionals is supposed to have from the American people.
So the Rules Committee was responsible of putting the maps onto our public website, the Committee on Elections.
Okay, so did this committee meet then to draw the lines? I mean, we're just trying to ascertain who exactly is responsible for drawing these maps at this point.
So the criteria has remained the same from the CRC. The reality is we are in an emergency, and this is our emergency response. We're giving Californians over 2.5 months to review these maps thoroughly and make a decision on whether or not we move forward with this constitutional amendment.
But is the state Senate Elections Committee, we drew these maps? Like, you're ready to say that
the Senate Rules Committee put these maps, the census tracks, onto the website.
So legislators drew the maps? Can we say that to our viewers?
Again, this was from CRC's criteria.
But who was looking over CRC's criteria to create the maps? Was it Paul Mitchell of Paul Mitchell Strategies?
It was input, again.
So you're refusing to say who drew the maps, which is the question.
It was testimony that was given to the CRC.
By
and again,
whom?
we're remaining consistent, making sure and that is what we're doing different from Texas. Texas is literally making the decision for voters. They are choosing their voters as opposed to letting voters choose who their representatives are. California does it differently. And we would hope that Texas would follow our lead, and they still have an opportunity to pull back and not move forward with this rigging of the election. This is our response. We are not going to stand idle by while Trump's in office rigging the elections. And
Madam Chair, California voters deserve to know who drew these maps. That's what we are asking. Don't they deserve to know who drew these maps?
Again, this is the most transparent process in the nation.
So then who drew the maps, Madam Chair?
This is the most transparent process.
Can we ask a few questions? If you're not interested in answering, can we ask a few other questions that are not exactly?
If we're not going to get an answer, please.